Hello and welcome to a demonstration of using Doge to apply Microsoft security patches on Windows 10 using PSexec embedded in a tclhttpd web server. You can run it without using a web server. I just happen to use this TCL web server. It has PSexec built in, and this is how I deploy in my environment, and also run inventory and see into these machines and what's patched. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to apply a patch on this machine here, and the patch is 4100347. As we can see here, we ran the Windows Update scan, and we have an output of all of the vulnerabilities from this machine based on that scan. So we have on our deployment machine here, inside of the scripts folder is where PSexec is embedded, and PSexec deploys these batch files, and in these batch files I look back at a mapped drive and I run another batch file, and this is just so that I don't have to come in here and modify this batch file. I can always work on my mapped drive, and I can deploy this batch file here from my map drive, so I can come in here and manipulate this file instead of going onto the Doge scripts folder. And so here I've created another batch file. I have previously, you could run from the batch file, you could come back and execute the raw executable file. I just happen to be doing it in a different way. So in my batch file here, I'm going to invoke WUSA, and then I'm going to come back to my map drive, and I'm going to find this file, which lives here, and I'm going to run it with these parameters here. And before I do that, we're actually going to take a look at the inventory. And so with this tool, I can also use WMI and basic vbscript and go out there and inventory these machines. And so I can come back with a computer list, and I can see here's the machine we're going to be working on, all of the add remove programs, services, and some system information. So for this instance here, we're going to be looking at to see if we can find this KB number, and I have it installed on one machine. So if we do a search, we should be able to, and you can see I already have it, I've already searched. So if I execute, I can see I find one instance in here, and it's not for that machine, it's for actually my Webula machine. So once we install it, we should be able to run the inventory and find it on our 135 machine. So we can come into here and run a single device method. We could run multi-device, which will run on a list of machines. But for these demonstrations, I'm going to do one system at a time. And this is a Win 10 machine, so I'm just reusing these this batch file and over again. So we can kick this off, and this is going to just execute PSexec. As we can see here, it's just executing PSexec. I just happen to embed it inside of a web server because I like to run these from a web page and centralize all of my scripts. I could also run this from my cell phone. This is just a web page, right? So I can actually do everything that I'm doing right now from my cell phone remotely. So once this finishes, we should then, and it should be a relatively quick installation here. And let's go ahead and let's run our executable. And this is what I've deployed in one of my other videos, and this was just this just calls the Microsoft Update session here, and this is how I'm evaluating the machine. And we can see here that we now have this installed. It's not it's no longer a vulnerability. So now what I can do with Doge, which is pretty cool, is I can come in and inventory that machine. So I can come into database and I can do collection. And if I do a single device, and I can now inventory this machine. And once this completes, and it takes a minute or two. What we're doing is we're running a bunch of WMI methods to find all types of system information, and we're writing that back to an internal access database with predefined reports. So it's an inventory collection tool as well as a software deployment tool, I guess you would say. So if we come in and look at reporting, we can see that this 135 machine is building right now. And once it completes, we get a pop-up box. And one of the queries it's doing is the Win32 quick fix engineering. So it's going to collect all of that hotfix information. And we will be able to go into reporting, go back into hotfix, and look up this machine, and we could run it now to see if it actually finds, and it hasn't collected that information yet. So we have to wait until it finishes. And we should be able to see now 2 machines have this 4100347 security patch, and we just completed. So we should be able to come in here, and now we have 2 subscribers, and you can see that 135 now shows this patch is installed. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please look for more videos in the future. Thank you.